Hi folks, Randy Bigos here at Torreon Golf Club. I'm going to explain something to you that's a common cause of a bunch of problems in the golf swing. That is something called early extension of the hips. It's something that really robs people of power in their golf swing and also consistency. So what early extension of the hips is as I set up to make my golf swing, as the club is coming down, my hips extend towards the golf ball. So you can see if I have my club down on the ground and do nothing more but move my hips this way, we can see what ends up happening to the club. It comes up off the ground and moves to the right, okay? So sometimes it's a cause of shanks as people come in like this. They come in, raise up like this. Now they've got the heel and the hosel of the golf club coming in towards the ball. So a big problem in the golf swing for both power and consistency. Early extension of the hips. So that is the hips moving, once again, this way. Getting me out of posture, getting me tall when I don't want to be tall, and leaving the face hanging open to the right. People who early extend in the golf swing, what they're prone to have happen is they can have balls that hang to the right, balls that are poor contact and get topped, or sometimes if instead of hanging to the right, they can whip the club through with their hands and end up with this nasty hook, all because of the way their hips are moving in the golf swing. So how the hips, you might be wondering, how are the hips supposed to move? So if I use this big 15-pound weight right here, okay, I'm going to switch angles here so you can see. The way the hips are supposed to move is they're supposed to get down and back, turn a little bit, and then move left of the target as they extend. So notice that the problem is early extension, not lack of extension. So once again, from this angle here, as I swing back, my hips move down and back. My right hip turns a little bit. And then as I approach impact, I'm going to squeeze the ground with my feet and extend my hips left of the target. One good way of looking at how the hips are supposed to move in the golf swing is if I take a big heavy object like this 15-pound medicine ball, take the club down and put it down behind it, and I want to try to move this with a golf swing motion. So if I'm at impact here and I drop my hips down and back, so belt buckle goes down towards the ground and towards my heels, curving down and back this way. Okay, now I start to turn my right hip into it, and now I extend my hips left of the target. I'm going to be able to move this 15-pound ball with just my hips. Again, this is a pretty static movement. I'm not hitting the 15-pound medicine ball, I'm just moving it. So if I were to early extend with my hips, this is what that would look like. So if I'm trying to move this now in the same position and I early extend, you can see there's no drive down and push through with the legs. I've extended my hips and my muscles out this way. The club has come up and just barely glanced at that 15. If you take a club and kind of cradle the grip, left hand kind of like so, right hand crossed over, okay? As you get back into a position to a ball that's teed up on the ground, what I would want to feel is as you make your turn with your torso, notice that when my hips stay in place, I can turn into that spot really nicely. So down, back with the hips, make the turn in, turn with the right hip, and then extend left of the target to the finish. An early extender, what they're going to do is they're going to be like so, and they're going to come in, they're going to go to turn, and now notice that the club head is not turning down towards the ball, it's actually hanging out to the right as I make my turn. Okay, so it's going too far to the right now. Okay, so once again, holding the club against you like so, making the turn down, feeling the hips drop back and down. Okay, turn a little bit with the hips, and then right on through to the finish. Okay, so once again, if I'm here like so, okay, and I go ahead and I make sure that my belt buckle goes back and down over my heels, I turn my right hip in place, kind of at a 45-degree angle this way. So now I'm turning as my belt buckle stays back. Okay. From this position, I keep turning And then what I do is I start extending my hips left of the target. So once again, you can see how that ball moved there. If I'm an early extender with my hips, and I get in like so, if I get into impact, but now I'm extended into impact, notice how tall I am on the ball. So now as I go to try to move the ball, I've got no power. So the way that this works in the golf swing is if I'm here like so, okay, and this is impact, and I drop my hips down and back, start turning the hip, you notice that we can load the shaft. Now as we keep turning, I have more load, and as I extend to the target, it rips and presses into the ground. Someone who is early extending, as they get set up, there's no pressure into the ground. There's actually pressure up above and away from the ground. So what they're doing is this. No pressure down into the ground, no force applied into the ground. So real important, a lot of people say, well, to get a lot of power, you need to hit down and through the ball. As you can see, this robs you completely of any ability to get down and through the ball by doing this. Okay, by hips and belt buckle going towards the ball. Lost my posture, I've lost any ability to press into the ground. So I hope this helps you out. As always, let me know if you have any questions about early extension. You can get a hold of me at the golf shop, 928-532-4653, and hope to see you soon.